So I was originally going to start this review in one of my usual shirts that you constantly see a lot of times over and over again in videos, but then I thought to myself with this one, I said, hold on, do I have an actual blue shirt? I mean, like one that is in this movie. And sure enough, found it. So, hey, I'm dedicating myself to the meme, chicken jockey and all, but I mean, come on. With the movie that we're about to talk about, I mean, honestly, it's for the best to know that, like, this is all for jokes, okay? Like, we all know what we're getting ourselves into with this movie. Everyone was doing it because, hey, it's a Minecraft movie.
Oh yeah, there's one more thing you need to know.
Great. Now it's dark.
That feel quick to anyone else?
A Minecraft movie is directed by Hess with a screenplay by Chris Bowman, Hubbel Palmer, Nell Widener, Gavin James, and Galletta, and a story by Allison, Schroeder, Chris Bowman, and Hubbel Palmer. The film stars Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Danielle Brooks, Meyers, and Sebastian Hansen. According to IMDb's plot synopsis, four misfits are suddenly pulled through a mysterious portal into a bizarre cubic wonderland that thrives on imagination. To get back home, they'll have to master this world while embarking on a quest with an unexpected expert crafter. Minecraft is not only one of the best IPs in terms of video games out there, but is still the highest grossing video game of all time. People thought that it would be GTA 5 or who knows, GTA 6, but I bet you even when that game comes out, nothing will top Minecraft. This property is a behemoth. Ever since it was a playable download back in 2011, it has been a phenomenon. It's gotten other spin-off games, whether it be a turn-based RPG game or a story-driven game that Telltale has done. You got toys, comics, books, reward to this stuff, t-shirts, etc. Whatever the case may be, Minecraft is a huge juggernaut IP out there at the moment. Even kids to this day coming into this world and still finding ways to build and be imaginative as possible. The only thing is missing is an adaptation for either a movie or show format. The only thing that's missing to this piece of a puzzle. How can we expand upon Minecraft's brand? I know, a movie. After 11 years in development, hell, and yes, people, this was announced back in 2014, now over 10 years ago. It now sees the light of day. This movie has been in such a development that it took them 10 years to finally come up with something, and they did it. I don't know how, but they managed to make a Minecraft movie out of this. When the teaser debuted back in September, it outraged longtime and hardcore fans, leading to memes to be spawned from it, and then of course you had the dislike ratio. I mean, people were looking at this trailer and being like, hell, what is this shit? What is this? This isn't my Minecraft movie. What am I looking at here? A live action adaptation? Get out of here. What is this? This is not the Minecraft I grew up with. Well, turns out I never grew up with the game. I knew of it. My brother has played it. He's an architecture guy, so of course he was always fascinated with building stuff for himself. He has owned it multiple times. I have tried to dabble in it, and yeah, I can't get into it. It's just not my thing. It was just one of those things of like, listen, I respect the game for what it is, I really do, and the culture surrounding it, but I'm just not somebody who's a fan. So I didn't necessarily hate the trailers, but I wasn't crazy about them either. I'm in this weird phase of whenever teasers and trailers for things come out for movies, especially movies like this, there's bound to always be this like monumental hate that is always spread throughout and continues because, hey, it's the internet. The internet kind of trains you to just kind of go for the quick instant reaction that everyone is saying. I was no hate. All right, I really wasn't. But again, the trailers didn't blow me away. I was just like, all right, it's a Minecraft movie. All right, this is what they're doing. All right, let's see what you got. Now that I have seen this, I gotta be honest with you. This was an unfocused and messy adaptation that I think fans, if you are above the age of 12 years old, because if you are 12 and under, I think they're gonna have a fun time. All right, families, I think will get a kick knowing that, like, hey, at least my kid can enjoy this while I kind of turn my brain and zone out. But it will not do that for older adults. unless you're looking for the memes. Let's face it, I've been seeing lately people are going crazy and losing their minds. There's been theater experiences that are going all out for the meme, and then there are some that are just being rambunctious and crazy and just causing a lot of complaints with a lot of theaters. Which, by the way, if you're one of those people doing that, the whole like throwing popcorn and drinks, I hate you. I really do. Please don't ever go to a movie theater. I swear to God, please don't. Yeah, honestly, I could care less about this movie. It was one of those things of like there were some chuckles I had with the film, but honestly, like I just didn't really care that much. But before giving my problems, here are the few positives that I have. The visuals, I will say, are pretty impressive. Now, I am not going to sit here and say that Zach, have you seen the movie? Yes, in terms of like noticing other things about the film with its visuals, absolutely. Though the green screen usage with the actors can be distracting and pretty bad, I'm not going to deny that. It looks pretty terrible. I mean, anytime you use green screen usage, especially when you're in a fake world with actors, bound to not look good. But the designs and the look of the creatures, I think, are impressive. And I do think that they managed to make the world look a little decent. It did. I mean, like, it looks like Minecraft. I mean, there's nothing like is unrecognizable. It does look like Minecraft. There's nothing about it that screams that this looks completely not like what the games do. Yes, I would say that this would be like more of an upgrade pack that, Minecraft usually does with regards to their updates, but really, I mean, come on. It looks like how the world is. And if it had just been like on the creatures and all that stuff, it still looks pretty nice. It's just when it's with the actors and then again, green screen use and all. Yeah, it's very noticeable. It's very badly done. The production is there. Seeing the practical work that they built was surprising, and I thought it was pretty cool for them to do that. All right, showcasing the props and the sets as best as they can. Yes, I understand they used a lot of what I mentioned before, green screen, but there are times where they do have buildable sets and buildable props that are supposed to represent the game. And honestly, as somebody who knows at the very least about like the look of the game and how certain items look, I'm not gonna deny it, that looked pretty cool. It looked pretty awesome, and it was very nice for the props department and the set decorators. They managed to nail the look of that feeling. Otherwise, guys, most of the movie feels like a wasted and poorly done adaptation that will leave fans probably frustrated and baffling. Like, I'm talking about the fans who are actually looking for a good Minecraft adaptation. I'm not talking about like looking for the memes and the jokes and knowing that this movie is going to be bad to a lot of people. I'm not fully saying that because, again, this is a kid's movie. For kids, I think they'll like it, but if you're asking on a level people my age or even like just for something to enjoy, honestly, there's just better things to watch, I think, nowadays than this. But here are now my negatives. The story is all over the place. The trope of having 4 humans in the video game has been played out to death, and it could have been done at the very least a little better. It just kind of comes off as being lazy in execution. It just kind of feels like they had to get the live action stuff in here, so it's like, how do we do that? Okay, so we'll have it set in the real world, but then, like, the overworld that the Minecraft world is in will have the actual people go into that. And I think there could have been ways to have done it in a way where it's clever, or if you had asked me, and we'll get to the writing about it, but it just kind of feels like every video game adaptation that we see a lot of the time just does that. They do a lot of the whole, hey, let's just bring in humans because, hey, it just saves us a lot of time, or just does something a little bit different. And I'll give the movie credit. It's not doing what most fan-made films are doing, but I mean, come on. I think you should put a little bit more effort with regards to how this story can kind of play out. Because as much as I'll give them credit, it is a story. At the same time, though, didn't really care all that much about it. The performances aren't good. Now, hear me out when I say this. While Jason Momoa and Jack Black are passable and decent, I do think they are the best part about this movie, and their chemistry and the humor surrounding them was, I'm not gonna lie, kind of funny. The rest of the cast just felt bored or confused. Danielle Brooks, I feel like she was just thrown in here because they just needed another person. And the siblings that Emma Myers and Sebastian Hansen play, I don't care about them. I don't care about their relationship. Their story about how the sister's looking after her brother, they moved to Ohio and she's working at a potato chip factory as a social media expert. That just kind of feels like they're just kind of throwing things at the wall. And it's just kind of funny because every time I was looking at Emma Myers, half the time, me and my friends were like, she looks way too young to be taking care of her brother, who's supposed to be like a teenager. And yet, I think in real life, she's in her 20s. But every time I look at her, she just looks so young to be taking care of a teenager when she herself could be passable as a teenager or as a kid. In general, I just feel like they felt lost and confused, and I gotta be honest, I'm not trying to be rude. Sebastian Hansen, I hope this kid hopefully goes somewhere, hopefully does better, but I'm just telling you, in his first debut as an actor for the big screen, yeah, he's not winning me over, and I'm just really not impressed. But I really hope everything well for him, and I hope he goes on to do better things, because this being his first project, not the best one. The writing is sloppy. Writers Bowman, Palmer, Widener, James, and Galletta craft a script that's both unfunny and generic. Well, I shouldn't say unfunny. I think it's rather just chuckle moments that I was laughing at, like sometimes with the humor. I'm like, that's kind of funny. Or like when we were laughing, it was like kind of sometimes unintentional, or feeling like I don't know if they're taking this seriously or not, in the vein of where I think it's going. But I mean, it is kind of funny. What I mean by unfunny, though, is like when there are actually jokes that are supposed to be aimed for kids, because like some of the jokes are really aimed at adults, but like when it is jokes aimed for kids, or like something that kids would laugh at, yeah, I don't think this is really all that working well, and is making this whole project just kind of come off as more of a parody movie, like something you would see like a sketch for Comedy Central, or Funny or Die, or College Humor, something along those lines. I could see this being a parody, but I mean, the fact that it's a full-fledged movie, I mean, that's just something, I guess. I think this movie could have worked if it was more meta, like if Minecraft actually existed, because like the kid in the movie is supposed to be like super able to build stuff. He's very imaginative, and he's crafting all this stuff, and he knows what he's doing. Okay, but I feel like they never really explain why he's just good. It's just using the excuse of, oh, because he's just smart. It's like if they actually had used the Minecraft game, but in the game itself, in the overworld where they go in, the game to everyone in there doesn't know it's a game that's like similar to their world. I think that would have been cooler, or at the very least a little bit more funnier in my opinion with that. But yeah, ultimately it just doesn't work overall in terms of a script. It just kind of feels like it was just put together at the last minute, if you ask me. The direction is off. Director Jared Hess doesn't make the overworld interesting or exciting to be in awe of. Sometimes it just kind of feels awkward or flat as the movie progresses. I get this is coming from the guy who did Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. I understand that's kind of his old feeling and tone of things. But when it comes to like this being a Minecraft movie, this could work if this was a different movie, but as a Minecraft film itself, this was the wrong way to do it. Because I feel like you should have some sort of awe moments. Like if this was like a Jared Hess own film, wasn't connected to a property, yeah, it could work. How his humor is supposed to be or taken as. But as a Minecraft film, it does feel a little weird, because these are kind of jokes that you listen to, or how this all flows and feels. It just does feel a little off for this to be a Minecraft film, if you ask me. The music is bland. Composer Mark Mothersbaugh doesn't bring much to stand out. Also, the licensed music felt distracting and didn't fit at all. I don't understand a lot of times with kids' movies, whenever they use licensed music, it's always done so poorly, and it just feels like they're just throwing it in there because, hey, well, we need music for this film, but not like the composed stuff. We need like actual licensed music to be put in. And yeah, it just comes off as just being like generic ass licensed music because they needed it, and it just doesn't work. And then there's some songs that are sung by Jack Black in the film, and it's okay, but it got to a point near the end of the movie that he sings one song that was really cringy. Like, I don't mean to be rude, but that was really bad. The villain isn't memorable. Nothing about them isn't interesting or fun. She's so forgettable that I don't even remember her name. I really don't. They say it multiple times, and I can't even, for the life of me, even remember what is the villain of this movie. All I know is that she's a pig monster. That's it. That's all it is, and I understand the pigs are like common in Minecraft, especially when you go to the Nether world, they occupy that territory. I just sat there, I'm like, what are you doing? What is this character bringing that I should be either terrified or interested in? Because I got none of those. I just was like, all right, it's a big bad villain. That's it. That's all we got. Just run with that. Go with it. We'll have ourselves a movie at the very least. The action is lackluster. Anytime action occurs, it misses any tension for fun aspects, it also leads to an uneventful climax that just feels so short and also kind of coming off as being a little bit of a ripoff at times because how this cube that summons the overworld and the regular world to connect and all that stuff, it kind of at times, I even said it to my friends, it looked like the Eye of Sauron. That's interesting, but then again, I mean, hey, they could do that because, I mean, Warner Brothers owns the Lord of the Rings. So, I mean, alright. Any action that happens in this movie, there is nothing interesting about it. I got no thrills or excitement about it. All I just feel is, okay, well, they did some things, nothing all that exciting. The cinematography is soulless. Cinematographer Enki Shidek lacks the strength to capture what makes Minecraft so beloved, coming across as flat and just doesn't have a style of its own. There's nothing about this movie that really pops out to me other than just how pretty it all looks. And when you got no style and it just kind of feels you're just shooting the movie as it is and you just don't have a style or unique flair to it, that just starts to kind of show and it just really starts to become very noticeable on how a movie like this should have something and it just doesn't. It just starts to kind of feel like, yeah, this does feel a little bit corporate in that sense. I'm sure kids who are fans of today would get a kick out of this movie. I'm not denying that. But for older fans and newcomers, it just doesn't offer anything, if you ask me. I guess a newcomer to this, but I knew about Minecraft for a long time and I know what it is. I'm just saying that this was supposed to win me over to really be interested in the game, and let me tell you, watching it didn't. It just made me go, like, okay. I mean, I still respect the property, but, like, this movie just don't do anything to make me want to go play it again. Feeling more like a half-baked idea by the end of it. It just seems like this was a movie that was just in development, and Warner Bros. We were sitting on this project for too long. Let's just get it out there, put together whatever you can, because we would like to have this out in theaters to make a lot of money. And of course, it worked. I mean, it's making $300 million already in this weekend alone. So, I mean, hey, Warner Brothers is making a lot of money with it. It just is ending up being just another poor video game adaptation, if you ask me. And in a day and age when you are getting, at the very least, good adaptations of video games as of late, and then you have something like this, which, listen, again, I understand this is made for kids. I am not trying to put down any kid for liking something that older adults or just critics might not really all that get or enjoy as much, because, hey, I was growing up in an era with something like The Cat in the Hat. I grew up with that film, and I know that movie's bad. I know that movie's terrible, but as a kid, I laughed my ass off every time I watched that film. Or something like the Bee Movie. Yeah, I laughed at the memes. I still do to this day and some of the jokes, but let's be honest, the movie's just dumb. It's stupid, but I enjoy it for what it is. So I would say that this movie would fall in camp with something like those films. You'll laugh at the jokes because of, in the sense of, they're not really all that great, or if they were, they would be better suited in other movies. Or you're just laughing how just dumb and ridiculously stupid they are. But realistically, the jokes themselves for a Minecraft film just feel kind of off and weird. So by the end of it, yeah, it's another video game adaptation. It's just another one in a long line of and I just feel like, for as much as we try to strive for authenticity of the adaptations, this is just one where it's like, yeah, well, Warner Brothers just wanted to make this so that way they could just cash in on the property. I'm gonna give a Minecraft movie a 2 out of 10. I understand that saying that means that it's terrible and it's awful, and I'm just only saying that for myself. I can't say that for everyone. I can't say that for families. I can't say that for kids. All I can say is for myself, I just wasn't really all that having fun with it. And realistically, like, sure, fans might get a kick out of some of the lore and deep cuts that people would know, like some of the cameos from some of the YouTubers who are Minecraft players. That's cool and all, but if you're asking for a movie adaptation of a video game property and thinking to yourself, would this actually get you into Minecraft? If you ask me, no. But hey, if you know what you're getting into, you might have fun. But realistically, for me, I just don't care enough about Minecraft to actually really say, like, yeah, I'm gonna go play it after watching this movie. So I will be doing a review of the Amateur and soon Warfare. So yes, look forward to those reviews and other reviews coming soon.